Alright, a video about stuff. This is the polite way of putting it. Every collector ends up with these kinds of things, boxes and little bags of it, and I'm no exception. Little bits of this and that you pick up along the way. It's just too good to throw out, too good to leave behind. Stuff like this. That's an M1 Garand combination tool. World War II, early style. You would wrap patch around there, stick it in the chamber to clean the chamber. Your bolt tool, your screwdriver. And this is the later one. This is actually Italian made. M1 Garand combo tool. It's got the brush. I picked these up for a couple of dollars a piece years ago from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It was a good deal, and I've used the hell out of them too. Of course, gun parts. Everybody's got these lying around. You know what that is? Well, maybe you don't. That's an M1 Garand gas plug screw. And always interesting stuff like this. You know, this is pretty much useless, but it might make a nice display someday, so I hold on to it. The remains of what was probably a rimfire H&R pistol from, I don't know, 1890, 1900, something like that. Make a fireplace poker out of it one day. Who knows? Got a couple of them. This one's got no barrel, but pretty much same thing. You find these at flea markets and tag sales for a couple of dollars. What happened to the rest of the gun? Nobody ever knows. They weren't that expensive or that good when they were new. Now this one. That's New England Firearms. I think they called it the Partner. Not really sure. It's the successor to the old H&R Topper, which I have several. It's a good receiver. I don't know what happened to the rest of it or why someone took it apart. And, you know, figure one day I could probably turn that into a shotgun again, if I felt like it. One-day projects. Everybody knows what these are who has a Mosin. That's actually an Ijesk clip. Ijesk mark on it. One of the good ones. As good as they get anyway. Let's face it, they're not that great even when they're new. Then there's the little bags of ammunition. You buy this stuff, and it's just too special to use for one reason or another. Maybe it's all green and corroded like some of these are. These here are actually British cordite loads from the Second World War. Some of them actually from the First World War. I bought 600 rounds of loose 303. I think it was from J&G years ago. In the 90s it had to be, I think. And this is the stuff I culled out of it. Now that one, probably can't see the head stamp on there, but that's Winchester Repeating Arms, 1942. That's Lend-Lease ammunition right there. You know, the idea was we're going to lend you this ammunition for the duration of the war, and then you give it back to us. How they expected to do that with ammo, I don't know, but that was the theory. That's Lend-Lease. And I think I actually had one in here that was a little bit apart. Let's see. Come on out of there. There you go. I don't know if that'll show up on the camera or not. Let's see if we can get it close. Maybe you can see it. It's not really focusing, but those little stringy things in there, that's actually cordite. That's cordite powder, if you can call it powder. Propellant, we'll call it that. It's what the British used back then. Some of these are marked 1942, 41, 1916. Collectible ammunition. One day if I get on the ball, I'll put up a nice display of that stuff. But for now, it stays in a little bag off on the side. And here's more. Stuff like this. This is Ecuadorian 8mm Mauser. I shot about 800 rounds of this stuff. And it shot, the stuff that shot good. It's 1954 dated, 7.92mm. But every now and then you'd get a hang fire and sometimes a flat out misfire. It was, you know, probably stored in some damp place. But it's still, when it shot pretty good. So I really can't complain about it too much. Kept a box or two around just for an example for that one day ammunition display. Boxes are getting a little rough anyway. This, of course, again familiar to a lot of Mosin shooters. Excuse me. That's Czechoslovakian. The Czech silver tip light ball. Very good ammunition. Now it does have a drawback that this coating is lacquer on the case, and it tends to transfer to the chamber of the rifle when you fire it a lot, which I did. And it will give you what we call sticky bolt. That's when the next round goes in and it kind of just welds itself in there on that coating of lacquer and old grease and whatever else is stuck to the chamber walls, and you have to smack the bolt with a hammer to get the damn thing to open. If you clean your chamber properly, it's not a problem, but some people like to skip that chore, and you can't do that when you shoot this stuff. I still have probably 5,000 rounds of this left, so that'll be around for a while. Wish I could get more of it, because this was surefire ammo, never had a problem with it, and it was very accurate ammo too. This worked well in all of my most seen. Finnish, Russian, didn't matter what it was, it worked well in it. Now here's an interesting bit of history. This is a barrel from a Colt 1917 pistol, a revolver actually. You see it's marked United States property right on it. It's got a slight bulge in it right here by the sight. Such things usually happen when it's pressed into something soft and yielding and fired. A little bit of gas pressure flashes back, holds the bullet back just enough to bulge the barrel. Well, that has such a bulge. Who knows how that happened? It's got the Colt patent dates on it, Colt D845, the New Service revolver, 1917 New Service revolver. And that's too neat to throw away. It's useless, but it's still too neat to throw away. Come on, it says Colt on it. You can't get rid of stuff like that. Now here, I don't know why I have this, but sure one day it'll turn up useful for something. This is actually, I believe, this is an 1891 Mauser, Argentine Mauser carbine sight assembly, and it's in beautiful condition too. It's beautifully blued up, nice, not in the slightest bit worn. Probably somebody bubbled up a carbine years ago and took this off. I must have bought it at a flea market or a tag sale. Who the hell knows? I'm always picking up stuff like that. But one day that's going to come in useful, because I'm always collecting stuff like that. Oh, here we go. Used to be an outfit called Paragon Sales. They sold stuff in Shotgun News. They went into business probably before the year 2000. I don't remember anymore. But they had this deal for $1 a piece. You could buy these buttstocks. And this is for the Enfield, small magazine Lee Enfield rifle, another one Mark III rifle. 10 of them I bought. I think I've used 1 or 2 somewhere along the line, or gave them away, or whatever it was. Fully inletted, beautiful condition. There's no way I could ever do anything with that, but we're going to keep it around anyway, just in case. You never know. East German AK sling. These used to be about 50 cents a piece once. It's a nice little strap, and it does actually work for a sling on the AK. I have one on one of mine. Unknown bag, probably German, I'm guessing. No marks on it really, but it's useful for carrying stuff around, like all this crap. And these, bought a bunch of these at the same time I bought these East German slings. This is an East German AK cleaning kit. It says made in Germany, little sticker they put on there. These are neat little kits, you know, they're cheap as you would expect from the East Germans, but they come with a nice little parts rag. Here you put that down and hold your little parts for the AK, wipe it down maybe. And these little tobacco cans are similar to what the Germans used in World War II actually. There's a pull through in there, and you got a couple little brushes. There's your bore brush and chamber brush. We got tool. Here's the tool. The pin punch and all that. A little brush to clean small parts. And this tiny little oil can, which I thought was really cool when I first saw it in one of these kits. So I put oil in it and I kept it in my little range bag. And of course, being a cheap East German piece of shit, it leaked all over the place because nothing was sealed. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Yeah, I was real happy about that. Oily mess all over everything. GI carbine, M1 carbine T-handle here for cleaning it. Cleaning your M1 carbine. Having a carbine myself, of course, this is something I like to have around. Actually, I'm missing one of the rods from that. This must be an incomplete one. Either that or I used the rod somewhere else. Now I'll have to find out where. Always something. Little bits and pieces here and there, you know, you collect this stuff up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Turkish Mauser ammunition. This is great stuff. No, actually that is Ecuadorian rounds stuck on there. This is both of them Ecuadorian. Huh. I must have repurposed that Turkish clip at some point. Actually 2 rounds. Go with that. Well, it's just a collection of stuff. Junk, bits and pieces. I'll probably do another one of these next time I open one of these little boxes and bags and pull stuff out. Just interesting stuff.